Hello, Mr. Jayaraj, and I want to begin this conversation by asking you, how have you managed to do it for so long? Because I just saw Hasyam and I was blown away. I mean, to pack so much into 75 minutes, what is the secret of what you do?
About Hasyam or other films?
Generally, this long career that you had, and like, usually directors, dry up after some time. They kind of may have a 10 years or something of a good run, and then they. But how have you kept going like this? It's amazing. Hasyam
Yeah, because I like cinema.
is that it? That's the answer.
Yeah, I like cinema and I'm thinking about cinema and
Okay,
dreaming cinema. Still now, I'm just waiting to do my first film.
okay. So when you decided on the rasa of Hasyam, the first thing, this is the Navarasa thing we're talking about. The first thing that does not come to mind is death. When you talk about Hasyam,
Right.
how did that combination come about? Like, I want to make the rasa is Hasyam, but my subject is death.
Yeah, that's dream from 2000 onwards. I started Karunam, that's pathos. Karunam, Bebelsam, Albudam, Raudram, like that.
Yeah,
And I was trying to avoid Hasyam because it's quite difficult.
right.
It's quite difficult genre because slapstick humor is the you know a lot of different pattern of humor is the so in which pattern I have to stick on. That was my that was the question always in my mind. The humor of enlightenment because sometimes maybe that may be the ultimate humor because always a smile on your face because uh, after coming to know the secret of wisdom, but I thought something else has to come, so I was waiting for that, and at last, all of a sudden I got a different point from third perspective in the humor. So I was thinking about black humor because people, the audience, laughing all the time, but they are talking about dead body and death and all kind of thing. So that is the beautiful trying to say something humorously, but at the same time there's a different meaning in it. The philosophical dimension is the that was the moment I started now focusing on this Hasyam and okay, like this.
Right. So when one of the recurring jokes in the movie, even though it is not technically a joke, is that our protagonist is somebody who's a what his daughter calls a dead body agent. Like, he procures cadavers for medical schools. So there is this wonderful philosophical question there, because when we die, why waste our bodies? Like, why do we want to just give it to somebody to grieve and then burn it or bury it? There is, in fact, this dialogue where he says your body will rot, and that kind of stuff. Instead, why not make it useful for other people to cure the dying? Right, that's a question that runs throughout the film, except that you don't pose it explicitly. It's almost like a subtext. Was that important to you to address?
No, that was not the important point, but a lot of different points are there. Through humor, this kind of questions arising
Right,
because during conversation, a lot of things are asking yourself. That's the main point.
right.
About one point is this, like after the death, because when my childhood, I used to go for this medical exhibitions when I was a kid. So I have seen a lot of human parts are they put in the bottles and all kind of thing, and but one cadaver on a table, black body of a human being. So I was scared, totally scared, and I was always thinking about if that particular human being, who is a cadaver, who is just watching, somebody is taking his heart, and somebody is taking his liver and talking, this is heart, and he's conscious, if you know. That was the moment I was thinking about the monologue of a cadaver. That was the first thought. Then I came back, but that will be crude, because that's obvious. We can maybe sometimes we can say a story like that, but at the same time, where is the humor in it? So I came back to the a different perspective, like a cadaver agent, one who is, how can I, because in Kerala especially, a lot of medical colleges, almost all private medical college, they need cadaver. More around 600 cadavers needed for private medical colleges alone, not for the government medical. They are having some possibility to get this unidentified body and all kind of things. Colleges are getting it. So there should be someone to selling, because arrange this or selling this or manipulating all kind of things. So I contacted to a doctor of one of my friend, and he told me that that's a very funny story. There are a lot of agents like that. In every medical college, there will be agents. So I was just trying to catch up one, and I came to know some kind of justice, and I just placed on a very remote place where the trains are passing, because that's a very favorite location of mine. It's quite near to my house. Two tunnels, in between two tunnels, there's a slum area. So in my childhood, I used to travel through this tunnel to the railway station, Kottayam. So I just that time it was meter gauge and it was steam engine, and it came to broad gauge, again to broad, to double line, like that. It's almost like my growth. It's also expanding, but still that slum area is still there. So the people and the kids playing there on the railway track and all kind of visuals, it was in my mind. So I thought of making a movie on that particular area alone. So now this is the time to explore, or we can combine together, because that train is a symbol of death. That's what I thought, because and his way to his house also through the tunnel, and that black and the light, darkness and light, and all everything is linked. That house is also linked with that particular area, and so everything combined, so happened. So that was the triggering point of mine. It's a lot of things, because as I said, from the childhood, a lot of memories from the medical college, cadaver, and the train and the location, and it was there somewhere. But while I am trying to say one story through this particular viewpoint, so this all visuals came to me, and combined formation of that expression.
It's interesting that you say that the train is a symbol for death, because when I saw the film, it occurred like for me, it seemed like the journey of life. It's like from start to finish, because the train takes you from one place to another, and similarly, you kind of life is between 2 points. So, but that's a recurring motif, and in fact, uh, when a crucial event happens, I'm not going to reveal that, you show the entire passage of a train from
Yeah,
the time it starts till the time it the last compartment goes out. It's almost like an entire life has kind of passed in front of your eyes, and that's just beautiful. Tell me, how do you think of when you sit down to write a movie? Do you do visuals come first to you?
yeah. Sometimes, one photograph is enough for me to make a movie, because I think during the time 96, you know, there was a film called Desharna,
Yeah.
Journey to Vista. That is about, I had a visual, the photograph in the newspaper. Kanji Kamagodi,
Mm.
Madadipati, that was the moment a boy taken to a monastery. Because that's a beautiful visual of a boy with this in all his innocence on his face, and with the his dress, and that then the stick is holding. So I was thinking about that particular face and his innocence and his missings and his childhood friends and the unknown, maybe the height of knowledge or something else. So that was the inspiration to make a movie like that. In during Hotel, I have seen a photograph on newspaper like a boy in Guwahati during flood. He was rowing his, uh, with all his. That's a raft, small raft, temporary raft, and he's rowing with his goats and all kind of thing. That was a very pricking visual of a boy. So that was the moment I decided to club with Wanga and that boy to the backwaters of Kerala. Here, maybe that's not the real reason, because here the thought came first.
Okay.
Because the cadaver, I think cadaver, that's also visual, but still,
Yeah.
that cadaver on a table, black cadaver on a medical college table was the childhood visual, was the stuck my mind. It was scared all the time. All the time I was scared about that particular, uh, that vision, and maybe in the midnight, I used to scream thinking about that. And but now it's a humor.
Right. Right.
It's a feel of Hasyam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how can we sell and why can we stitch together? And okay, of course, I was thinking about a family, a man who is selling this body or cadaver, and his family. All they are all waiting for the moment
Yeah.
to sell and enjoy the moment, and the grandfather, and they are waiting for the grandfather's death also. So everything according to their viewpoint, everything's for money, and maybe there are people like that.
Yeah. And but the best thing about the film, I mean, there are so many fantastic things about the film, but what I really liked is that there is no, I mean, usually when such a character is shown, they might be shown as a shady character, but here everybody is nice. Even when the people come up to put that pandal in his house and they go away because the dad is not dead, he still gives them some money,
Yeah,
like
right.
he's a really nice guy. It's not like that he's a, like, of course he is doing a shady job, but by nature he's a nice guy. And everybody in this movie, almost everyone is, there is no like easy way to say they're black or white. Everyone is in that lovely, like good people, but who are forced to do certain things for the sake of like for a living. And this extends right to the last scene when there is a person who has a change of heart, kind of thing. So was that your plan from the beginning, that you would not make anybody like overly, like you saw this man as a good man? Is that right from the beginning?
Yeah, I think I was trying to say one situation, not even a story, a portion of his life.
Right.
And but so all people joining together, they're all good people. Even that
Yeah.
prostitute
Yeah.
character now,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
also very nice character,
Yeah. She comes
and
back and gives the
he
money.
comes
Yeah.
back,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she's giving an idea also. That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
I am just I'm scared of thinking that idea, because someone will, steal that idea and make the same thing. A lot of chances are there,
Yeah.
because a lot of old age homes are there. There are chances. Maybe it's that may be the reason. Sometimes after seeing the film, you can think like that also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very easy possibility to get bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I was just thinking about a human being's life, or a particular person's life and cross section of his life. I never intended to do, make to positive all the characters positive, or nothing like that. But still, everyone part, they are all part
Yeah.
of his
Yeah.
life. Even I think you may be noticed that the person one who is scolding him by the time asking the prostitute's house is. He's also there in the house at the last moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That kind of links are there, small links. So it's
yeah,
a very small area. It's a quite, they know each other sometimes. And even that lady, while that prostitute character is coming to his house in search of, she's going with her. I will show you the house. That's a connection. It's quite easy. We can say like, that is house. That's quite easy. She can just point
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
But she said, I will come with you. And a lot of links are there.
yeah.
All are good. Even that,
Even
uh,
Shashi is a good character.
yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
Shashi is a very good character because he's looking after his mother,
yeah, yeah,
and 2 3 scenes, but with a lot of fun is there.
yeah. No, what I'm saying is that's what's really great, because on the one hand, Shashi knows what it is to live like with an old person who's about to die, but on the other hand, he's also helping, uh, to steal bodies. So it's like both sides are there. That's
Mhm.
what's lovely about this.
And Shashi is telling him that I'm not a person like you to sell my mother
Yeah, yeah,
like that, mother's body or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
I'm different from you, but at the same time he's supporting him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a when you get a story and a premise like this, how difficult is it to maintain that balance just right? Because if you go a little bit like this, it could become tasteless. It could become like, oh my god, this is like so disgusting, what they're doing. How difficult was that to write that tone? The tone is so important in this movie.
Yeah, tone. Once we are fixing the tone and backdrop and the pace is the thing has to come from our mind.
Right.
How can we tell this story? I'm always thinking about while narrate a story, what should be the pace of even the shots and cut, edit and everything is very much contributing the total feel of the movie and the tone. Here the presence of black and the light, both are the darkness and light, and that's what in the beginning we are showing the train sound, and from the to the darkness that glare is coming to the screen, and almost all the sequences we are linked with the passage of train, and total mood is almost like gray, but still some portions we can feel the presence of black also, that black,
Yeah,
but green is also there, but the gray, the factor of gray is there all the time. And most of the time I used to, once a story forming in your mind, sometimes the beginning and end will come automatically, sometimes the end is coming in the beginning. And what is the first scene? That's very important. All the time I'm thinking that was the difficult part also, what's the first scene. And of course once you start writing, I think I just want only a few days needed to write a script, maybe less than 3 4 days.
really, for this.
Now for this and previously for hotel and all kind of lot of scripts I wrote. And for me, once the idea and maybe like points I write on some sequences, almost the linking sequence. Once I can narrate the things, then it will be very easy. And all imageries, like all elements, sometimes it will all will come while during the time of writing only. Elements, small supports from the unknown place it's coming. I'm always thinking about the presence of God in between the paper and the pen, that space. So by the time we are writing a script or story, the lot of unknown things which is not even
Yeah,
we even dream of, this coming all of a sudden from somewhere. If you're focusing that much, it's all coming through the pen. So we are just a conductor. That's what I'm always thinking about. From somewhere it's coming through you to the paper. So that may be very much linked with our best parts we experienced in the life and the observations and maybe surroundings also supporting you to write this. Most of the time, how uh, I just want to finish it early at the earliest. That's the main mood of my while writing. Almost all the early mornings I used to write the script, and mostly it will take 3 4 days to write a
Wow.
script.
Now, I want to ask you about today. A lot of independent filmmakers are trying to see where best to premiere their film. Now, you've had Otal in the Berlin Film Festival. You've also had this movie at the International Film Festival of Kerala. Is there a like what is your advice to young filmmakers who are trying to get into the festival circuit?
Festival circuit, I always attempt for Cannes. Every year I used to make a movie and send for Cannes because that's ultimate. That's my dream. I never entered. Even this time also, after this Hasyam also, I finished one movie. I'm going to send that movie. Maybe next week I will send that to Cannes. But that's my determination. I will enter. I'm sure. And I keep on trying for that. The first Cannes and the next Toronto, like that, we are approaching for the festivals like that. Sometimes we'll go to Berlin or somewhere, but never enter to Cannes. But I always prefer the best top. And even for the youngsters, I can say one thing: money is not needed for a movie. Whenever you dream something, with all determination, you write, keep on writing and write. Then when you feel this is up, this is a time to explore, you start shooting.
Right.
They will say, I don't have money. No, you go ahead. It will come. The camera will come. The actor will come. Everything will happen. So you can finish at the earliest. If there is money involved, there will be a lot of limitations.
But how do you what I mean, again, if again an advice question. Today the thing is, it's become like almost like so many independent filmmakers are coming up because of the availability of technology compared to even 10 years ago, right? Supposing somebody asks you, how do I set myself apart from all these other filmmakers? What is the key to that? Is it the script? Is it the presentation? How would you advise them? Is it like,
Script, absolutely script.
right?
You can say any story, even narrated one also. You can say again with a different perspective in a different script. So the ultimate thing is screenplay. You must be different from others. That's the only thing. I just want to advise youngsters. A lot of filmmakers are there, and your presence is not needed. But
Right.
if you are there, you must be different.
Right.
Like Jonathan Livingston Seagull, I used to tell my youngsters, you fly differently.
And so finally, I have to talk about your last shot, which is incredibly beautiful in two ways. One is it's just physically so beautiful because you have that lovely tree, the branch, the river, and then at the corner there's the sun. So even as an aesthetically thing, it's beautiful, but even emotionally, philosophically, it's there is so much life in that frame. There is so much of nature and beauty and life in that frame, and you're ending a movie about death with this wonderful affirmation of life. Is that how you originally wanted to end the movie?
Especially for this film, that's the only shot where that particular nature is glorified. As I said, a lot of other places,
Yeah.
dark, black, and gray, and kind of things are here. The lot of positive feel. Backlight is the
Yeah.
green is
Yeah.
the glitter is the and the laughter is there. Kids are running, and that's a hope.
Yeah.
Hope. The laughter is the only hope.
Right.
The playfulness is the only hope.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
you will die tomorrow,
yeah.
so you laugh. That's a humor.
Yeah, that's Hasyam. And thank you very, very much for this movie. I do hope that you get into Cannes very soon, and that that is another on your list of many, many achievements, because it is incredible for to see a director making such good movies for such a long time, and without losing that energy and enthusiasm, and to, I mean, like I said earlier, one of the most amazing things is how much is packed into just 75 minutes. It's like an entire life is packed into just like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So hats off, and thanks again for this wonderful film.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks for the energy. Thanks for the support. Nice
thank,
questions. Thank you.
thank you very much, sir.